And Scarlett is ready. She's got her Batman shirt on. And we also brought her Lovey Sleeping Beauty and her blanket, and we're all ready. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a video to just give you an update on my daughter Scarlett and her health, and just tell you about her growth hormone stimulation test that she had done last week. So I was able to take a few clips during her test, which I will insert in this video, but I just wanted to kind of explain. My coffee maker is so loud. I just wanted to kind of explain like what the whole process was like, just in case maybe you're watching this video because you have a child that is going to go through this test and you want to know what to expect. There's a lot of things online. I have to stop my coffee maker. Okay. So there is a lot of stuff online telling you what you're going to expect, but there's not a lot of personal, this is what I experienced kind of things for you to find. And actually on YouTube, I was only able to find one other person talking about their child with it, and a lot of kids go through this. So I just wanted there to be another video of another experience of someone going through a growth hormone stimulation test. So real quick, the reason my daughter was having this test was because she was born at 8 pounds, and when she was a year old, she was just barely 15 pounds. And we knew then that there was something like wrong with her because she just was not growing at the rate she was supposed to. So we saw a genetic specialist, we saw a gastroenterologist. When she was 2, they did a stomach biopsy because they thought she had celiac disease. We saw genetics again, and then they just said maybe she's just small. And I, as a mother, have always known that there's something there that's making Scarlett small, but I just never knew what it was. So we went in last week for the test. Her doctor, we actually switched doctors, and in this process, they said, hey, we need to refer you to endocrinology because it could be a growth hormone problem. Which is funny because like I feel like if I never put in to switch doctors, they never would have sent us, because her doctor was just like, oh, she's fine, she's just little, even though like she's not on her own curve either. She's just like not growing right. So anyways, she is 5. She was 5 in October, and she is about 29-30 pounds, and she is 39 inches now, which is like obviously good for her. I mean, tallest she's ever been, but she's significantly shorter and thinner than any of the other kids. I think that she has a ton of energy. Besides that, she seems perfectly fine. She gets colds a lot, but that would be the only other like symptom that she would have. So yeah, let's get right into it. Her growth hormone test, we saw the endocrinologist. They did a bone scan of her hand, and it said that her bone age was 3 instead of 5. So they agreed that they wanted to do the stimulation test. So the test is fasting, so they cannot eat or drink even water up until from midnight before the test until the test is completed. So during the test, they can't eat at all. So what my husband and I did is we were both there, and we brought a couple of like granola bars in our bag, and we would just like go to the bathroom and go have a granola bar because I didn't want to eat in front of her when she can't eat. But she was so tired and kind of like confused at everything. She wasn't really thinking about eating. She didn't complain about being hungry until like the very end of the test. So that was good. She's also seeing a gastroenterologist right now because they want to check again for celiac disease. So she had probably more blood drawn taken than if you're just having the growth hormone test. But since she's having blood work for the gastroenterologist as well as for the growth hormone stimulation test, she had a lot of blood drawn. So we got there at 8:30 in the morning. We packed snacks for her for after, but they provided snacks, but she's picky, so I thought maybe she wouldn't like it. So they put you into a room. We have, the way our hospital is they had us where there was 4 separate beds, or not beds, but they were just like chairs in a large room, and then in the center there were toys, and at that time there was her and there were 2 other girls. One was like 12 and one was like 17, there for treatment for whatever they were doing or testing for whatever they were doing. But we were all in the same big room. We just had our own little section of it, and it's all in like a U shape. So we went in, we got her comfortable sitting in her chair, and when the nurses came in to start checking her for everything, she felt more comfortable with me sitting in the chair and her sitting on my lap, so that helped a lot. They weighed her and they did her height right before the test started. And then the first thing we had to do was place an IV. So they placed an IV in her hand, like here or something. They placed the IV in. They had no problems with the IV. The only thing she didn't like is like the rubber band that they put around your arm as like a tourniquet type thing to help them get you with the IV. So they put in the IV and then they taped it to her arm. So her arm was bandaged from here to here with like a piece of foam right here to keep her from bending her wrist. And she was just not even moving it. She didn't cry really much from getting the IV. She just was scared more than anything, but her IV went in great. So right when they put in the IV, they needed to draw blood. And this was the best part, was in the beginning, because they had about 9 vials of blood that they drew in the beginning. And one of it, or a couple of them, were baseline blood before they did any stimulation to her. And the other ones were blood draws for her gastroenterologist. We figured we would just do it all at the same time since she had the IV already. So she actually was holding the little tubes, and the nurse was showing her how to push it in and helping her push it in, and then it would begin to fill with blood. And she was actually very interested in the process, and she like didn't mind it at all. It wasn't hurting her. She already had the IV in. About the 5th or 6th tube of blood, it stopped flowing out. So I was just like, why? Like, I was in shock with how much blood was coming out. So I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking about blood in this video. If you don't like it, you shouldn't watch. But I'm not showing any blood, if that helps. So let me see. They ended up having to like tilt her arm like this to try to get more blood going on. They ended up having to tie a rubber band around her arm again to try to like put pressure in the blood that was in her arm. I don't know, but try to like force the blood out. It was very hard for them to get the last 3 vials of blood. Then they had to stop using the tubes and they had to get a syringe and kind of like pull on it a little bit to try to draw the blood to come out. And that made her very uncomfortable. They had to wiggle the IV around in her hand. That was just the hardest part because it just was not coming out. So then we sat there for about an hour and a half, and then they came back and they needed to draw more blood. So this time they still had a problem. The blood was just not coming out. They had to take out some blood first that they discard, and then they take out blood. So I guess like whatever blood is right there they don't use. So first they take out 2, I don't know, 2 whatever it is. I don't know what the measurement is, but they said, oh, I've got 2 out to discard. I think someone was training, the nurse was training. So they took out 2 to discard, and then they took out the amount that they needed for that blood draw. So they took out those 2, and then they took out 1 more. So 3 vials at the hour and a half mark. And at that point, it still wasn't coming out good. A half an hour later, they came to do it again, 3 more vials, and I was just like getting very frustrated because she was having a hard time because the blood was not coming out. They couldn't get it out. They had to go get the doctor. So the doctor came, and it wasn't our doctor because our doctor was not there that day. So it was just another doctor, and she was not as delicate as our doctor is, so it's a little different, but she was fine. She actually told the nurses that they should not have put the IV in her hand, and that they should have put it up here in her arm because there was going to be so much blood taken. Having it so far away from her heart just makes it more difficult for them to take out the blood. So I recommend, if you're getting this test done for your child, definitely ask if they can put the IV in their arm, like up halfway up their arm. They might have a much better time because getting the blood out of her tiny little veins in her hand was such a problem. So while she was waiting in between, we were watching movies. They had a little table that they pulled up to her where she could make a Valentine because it's close to Valentine's Day. And that was overall a good experience. So right now I will link in a video clip of her at her thing getting her blood test done. So you can see, not her blood test done, but just her in the room. So you can see the room and you can see how she was situated and everything. So that is right here.
Wow, good drawing. I like it. And it erases like magic. Are you watching your movie?
I'm watching Storks.
Storks.
All right, so we were there we got there at 8:30. The test didn't start till 9. And we were done at about 12:30 is when they stopped drawing the blood. So 9, 10, the last blood draw was at 3:30. So it was 3.5 hours. They took a lot of blood in the beginning, and then 3 different times they took only 3 vials of blood. And oh my gosh, I totally forgot the most important part. Not the most important part, but a big part. After they took the initial blood for the IV, she had an injection in her leg. So I just held her. She cried for the injection. I think it was painful for her. So, and that was just the stimulant that was going to get her body to produce growth hormones and produce hormones, which is what they were testing for. So in the beginning, she had the IV, she had the initial large amount of blood draws, and then right after that, she had the injection, and then they waited the hour, and then they started drawing blood every half an hour. So actually, after the test, her hand was fine. She just had a little dot. On her leg, though, she had a bruise around where the injection was, and she complained about leg pain for about 3 to 4 days. So her leg was bothering her. I don't know if you've ever had, like, I know with the whooping cough vaccine, my arm was just super sore after for a few days, so I think that's what it was like for her. But overall, everything was fine. She was allowed to eat ice chips. They also monitor her blood sugar throughout the whole test. If the blood sugar drops too low, they have to stop the test. But she did fine. As soon as towards the end of the test, she had a headache, so they were just trying to get her to eat more ice chips. She was complaining that her head was hurting. But other than that, like literally, she was just bored. She just didn't want to be there. Obviously, it wasn't fun for her, but it wasn't terrible. Like, I was able to handle it fine. I never felt like I was going to cry or become emotional. Like, I felt bad for her a couple times, but it was just relatively, I don't even know the word. It was relatively not invasive. So, it would have gone smoother, I feel like, if the IV was placed somewhere else. I feel like that would have helped a lot. But when it was over, they gave her some snacks. She had some fruit snacks and graham crackers and some juice and some hot chocolate, and she was her old self again. As soon as they had taken the IV out, they let her pick a Band-Aid, so that was awesome. But once she ate, she was fine, and literally when we left there, she was running around like a crazy person, and she was her normal self all day long. She was super happy. So the only side effects after was that the next day she had the bruise on her leg, and she said her leg was sore. So they said test results take 1 to 2 weeks, so I will be doing another update on what the results were and how it came out, just to share our journey with you of what's going on with her growth. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. I'm just making this video to give you some firsthand information of what the test is like. I'm going to insert a clip right now of what we packed to bring to her test if you're interested to see what we brought. We did go through some of the toys. We had those little mystery bags from Target, My Little Ponies and stuff, that we gave to her after each injection. So she kind of had something to look forward to after she had a round of blood draws. So after a round of blood draws, she got a little toy. So we did that the 4 times that she had sets of blood draws. So she got 4 little toys. And yeah, so let me insert the clip of what we packed for our test, and after that, that's going to be the end. So thank you for watching, and I will give you an update whenever we get one. And yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye, thanks for watching.
All right, so this is Scarlett's lunch for after her growth hormone stimulation test tomorrow, since she does have to be fasting from midnight. She ate dinner at about 5 o'clock and had some water at bedtime at 7. So I'm pretty sure by the time her test is done around noon tomorrow, she's going to be really hungry. So I just got a few of her favorite things at the store today just to kind of have a little treat after going through what she's going to go through tomorrow, just getting the IV and everything. She's going to be fine. And I know it's a pretty standard test, but I just know it's not going to be pleasant for her, so I just have some treats for afterwards. So she has some pepperoni, some Oreo cookies, blueberries, her favorite red apple. We got these Pets Secret Life of Pets fruit snacks for her, and I put 2 in there because she wanted 2, but I don't think she's gonna eat 2. And then we got this princess yogurt as a little treat for her. So I got a little spoon for that, and then also a string cheese and some cheese Doritos. So that is all of the food we have for her. I know she's not going to eat all of this. I don't know how well she's going to feel after the test, but I just want her to have some options of something to eat because she has to eat before we can leave the hospital tomorrow. So to drink, I got her a little water bottle and a little Powerade. And again, she can't drink anything until after the test as well, is what the doctor said. I don't know if they'll end up giving her something. I have no idea, but I will be letting you guys know everything that happens. And we also packed a bunch of stuff for her, and I will show you that right now. Real quick, for my husband and I'm just going to be bringing us a couple apples with this Justin's honey peanut butter, and then we're each going to get a beef jerky stick. And then I picked out these for my husband. They're the salted caramel nut protein granola bars. And then I picked out this for me, the peanut butter and dark chocolate protein granola bars. So we're not going to eat in front of her. I just think that's really sad if we're going to eat something that she can't eat, but in case we need some energy, we can go off to the bathroom, or say we're going to the bathroom and go have a little snack, or we'll have this with her when she is having her lunch after her test. We'll have apples and peanut butter and granola bars and stuff so that we could all have some food together when the test is done. So now let me show you what we're bringing to entertain her with. All right, so we're going to be entertaining her for almost 4 hours at the doctor's office. So we have her little backpack that we have packed full of fun stuff. So first I have these stickers. They're superhero stickers that she got for Christmas. And I have a little notebook with just plain white paper. So she can just put stickers on the white paper for a little activity. Also, I have some markers if she wants to color, and those are in my purse. Another thing she got for Christmas that we can use there is this little scribble and play board. It looks like kind of like a magnadoodle type thing, so she's excited to try that out tomorrow. We also have this book. It's a write and erase book where you have to find the bugs in the picture and circle it. So I have the dry erase markers in my purse, and she really loves this book, so that'll be fun for her to play with. She hasn't played with it for a while. She chose her favorite book, so she chose Corduroy, Fox and the Hound, Peter Pan and Wendy, and The Lion King. So those are the books we are bringing for her to look at. I don't know if they're going to have a DVD player, but we rented this movie called Stork. She's also bringing 2 of her favorite movies right now, which is The Lion Guard and The Secret Life of Pets. So we have 3 movies. And then she picked out some of her favorite toys, which are this horse and the baby horse, this little dog, this little donkey, a race car, and a Superman and a ball. So she just stuck these in her backpack. And then we have this little Pixar popper game. It kind of looks like Sorry, I kind of think it is. I don't know. I don't play a lot of board games, but she has this little board game, so I figured we can play that. I don't know how she's going to be feeling, if she's going to want to play anything, but we're also going to have her iPad, which has game apps on there, so we're going to have lots of stuff to do for the time of the test. And then her sister, my friend is watching her sister, so she has all her stuff packed ready to go, and she's going to have a lot of fun for her morning. So that is everything that we are taking with us. I'm going to update you a little bit about the test while we're there in case anybody is watching this video because they are a parent that is going through the same thing or they're thinking about having this test done. I'm going to try and share as much information about the test as possible. So this is what we have to get ready for it, and we just have lots of snacks and food ready for our day at the hospital, and we have lots of activities to keep her distracted from all of the blood draws and getting her IV and everything. So I will update you more soon.